Hi guys, welcome everybody to the Wulff Den podcast. How are you doing? Will, how are you? Will? Oh, Will!
Sorry. I was playing Win Back.
Everyone's
We got
favorite
Win
win
Back.
back.
Win Back, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming back. This is the 2021 is the year of Win Back. I'm calling it.
I'm not gonna lie, I was most excited to play that one, and I haven't played it yet. Because I am actually interested in playing, because I remember liking that a lot back in the day.
I'm gonna be honest. I've messed around with Switch Online, the expansion pack, very minimally, and we'll get to it when we get into the topic. But the two games I really dug into were Sin and Punishment, which we'll talk more about later, and Win Back. And despite some control issues, I am shocked at how ahead of the time that game was.
Win Back?
Yeah. Because it does things like over-the-shoulder aiming, like manual pointing of the gun, cover mechanics, and things like that. It's archaic. It's archaic as all get out, but it's like really surprising that that's all in there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I got to play a lot of Mario Kart. That game is way harder than have always been bad at Mario Kart. Mario Kart 64 is very hard.
Yeah.
Especially at 150cc.
I can imagine. Yeah.
But I also played a little bit of Mario Tennis and a little bit of Mario 64.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to play Win Back, and I want to play Sin and Punishment because I've never played Sin and Punishment. And Sin and Punishment is supposed to be one of the best games for the N64 that we never got here in America.
Yes. I have a physical cart of it because when you went to Japan, you got me that cart. But I have no way of playing it, and this is my way of playing it. But we'll save that for when we talk about the topic proper.
Right. So, Win Back. Everybody give it a shot. It's the weirdest one on there, but
by far.
But I remember. I mean, did we buy it or did we get it from Blockbuster?
No, we got it from Blockbuster.
You got it, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then I liked it. I remember liking it.
You know what? We got it because it was the only thing the N64 had that was comparable to Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm.
We were Nintendo kids at the time, and we heard about Metal Gear. We wanted to play Metal Gear. Couldn't play Metal Gear, so we got Win Back instead. It's the definition of that meme. I want this. You have that at home.
Yes. But we didn't know any better because I never really played Metal Gear anyway.
Nope.
Anyway, before we get into the trials and tribulations of Nintendo Switch Online N64 and Sega Genesis, don't forget about Sega Genesis. Yes. We got to thank Robin Battles for the 9 months. Thank you very much. Lizdrin for 42 months. It's a lot of months. That is a lot of months.
Yes.
Edward Bova, thanks for the host. And Khalil Jama, thank you for the 1 whole year. Keep up the great work, guys. Thank you very much for being here for that long.
Yeah.
So, guys, last night at freaking 9 o'clock at night, Nintendo Switch Online updated, and you were allowed to purchase the expansion pack. Expansion pack or expansion pass?
Pack.
You were allowed to purchase the expansion pack. Somebody in my chat yesterday called it expensive pack.
Got him.
So it is $50 for the year. It takes your Switch Online that's $20 and makes it $50 for the year.
Yeah.
We have a family plan. It gives you a discount, like a prorated discount based on how much you already paid for the year. So I renewed the family plan, I guess in September. Well, I guess September. So it renewed, and it gave me some money off. It was $50 instead of the full set. Full, what is it? 80 or 70? 80.
Yeah,
it's 80.
80.
It's 80 for a family plan, which is a lot, but you get up to 8 people on it. So it's actually kind of nice. The number one question I get is it worth it? And I think that's up to you to decide. However, probably not. It's really cool to have all of these games on the Switch. I like having all these games on the Switch. That's great. But there's a lot of issues, and it doesn't seem like enough of a benefit to upping yourself to this, especially if you already have stuff like Mario All-Stars and the Sega Genesis Classics games.
Especially if you have the Sega Genesis Classics.
Yeah.
And you want this for Genesis games. I don't really see the need for that. If you have the Genesis Classics collection, you're really just getting this for the N64 games. And at that point, is it really worth it? Probably not, at least not with the library they currently have.
Yeah, there's a lot more games coming out, and they already showed the games we're going to have coming out, like Majora's Mask and F-Zero and stuff. And I think Donkey Kong. But I would not recommend buying into it now in the hopes that stuff comes out, because you could be waiting up to a whole year for the game that you want. So just hold out until that happens. And if you have a family plan now, you get the prorated discount for the re-upping of it. So don't worry about that.
I did, for last week's episode of Wulff Den podcast, I put up another poll.
I forgot.
And the poll was, I asked you directly, is Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack too expensive? 66% of the votes said yes, it is too expensive. 20% said no, and 13% said just download ROMs and emulate the games. I wrote it exactly like I always said it.
There, I can show it on screen. And the stream crashed again. Don't worry, Will.
Of course.
No one will see this except the YouTube people.
Just like the good old days.
So if you're on the Spotify side of things, there you go. Have a poll. Thanks for participating. So I guess a lot of people are saying it's expensive.
Yeah, which, they're not wrong. I just figured, why not ask?
Yeah. So yeah, no, it is. So here's my stance on it. I feel like it wouldn't be expensive if they charged more for Switch Online to begin with. If Switch Online was like $35 or $40 to begin with, and this expansion pack is $50 for the year, that doesn't seem like that big of a jump. But going from $20 all the way up to $50, that's $30 whole dollars for this lackluster emulation. Like, the games are great. This is a great library of games, but there's a lot of issues. There's the controller issues. We all knew that the controller situation was going to be a problem, because adapting an N64 controller to modern controllers is not easy. But yeah, we didn't realize how bad of a problem it was going to be, because
this is a much bigger problem than we realized, and we knew it was going to be a problem.
I was throwing Nintendo a bone, thinking like, they're going to have some different control schemes. It's going to be weird, but they'll be able to figure it out. No, they really fucked it up. They did a pretty bad job. So I've just released a video. You should watch that video. You should click out of this and watch that video. But this is the control setup for most of the games. I think all of them but Sin and Punishment.
As far as I know, Sin and Punishment is the only one that has a different control scheme.
Right.
Which is weird in and of itself.
We'll get to that. So as you can see here, the A and B buttons are what they are labeled as on Nintendo Switch controller, which is fine for like new players, but that's not where they are on a Nintendo 64 controller. Yeah. So it's look at the Nintendo 64 controller right there. It's flipped weird. So and they put and when you're looking at this, you see C button left and C button down, and it doesn't make sense. But it does when you look at the controller, those are the buttons that are closest to the A and B buttons.
Yeah.
It would make more sense if they just put everything in the right spot. If they just put the A and B buttons where they are on the freaking N64 controller,
Yeah.
and then put down and left where, like, right above them, it would be fine. But they didn't do that. The whole, there's a little feature here where you hold ZR and then the face buttons turn into C buttons. That's actually useful for shooters and stuff.
Is it the face buttons or is that the D-pad? Because that confuses me. Because that symbol is like Nintendo's like universal symbol for when you hold the Joy-Con sideways and whatever the buttons become.
That is a good point, but the little rounded edge on the top right makes me think it's the top right. I didn't actually try
because me neither, because I was too confused. I was looking at it and going, using the D-pad, that doesn't make any sense.
No, I think I did try this with Mario. No, I did. Yeah, no, it's the face buttons. Okay. So and that actually is I have some portable emulators that work that way, and it actually works really good. But we have a right stick here, so the right stick is actually more helpful. So just use the right stick. My only issue here really is the A and B buttons are in bad spots. My other issue is that we already have N64 controllers that connect. We already have N64 controllers that can connect to the Switch and
the Retro Fighter controllers and things like that.
The Retro Fighter controller, the Hyperkin controller, and none of them work right. There's just a little something that's off. The Hyperkin controller, the Admiral has an update that'll work, but I couldn't get the update to work. I don't think they launched the update yet. So it's the whole thing's a wash. Basically, like in order to get like a good experience, an authentic experience, you need to buy their $50 controller.
Yeah.
But again, I don't even know. I don't even have the $50 controller, so I can't even tell.
Yeah, it's sold out right now on their website. So, I mean, did you get it or did you get this Genesis one?
I got the Genesis one. Jackson ordered me an N64 one because he's a great friend. But yeah, we don't know when they're coming. There's no shipping. They shipped today, but no one knows when they're gonna come. Also, a little aside, my MacBook shipped today. Well, my MacBook came today. It required a signature. They didn't call or ring the bell or anything. They just said, "Sorry, missed you." So
that's the worst.
I'll be picking that up tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
But the N64 controllers, and the Sega Genesis controllers, they went up on sale again today.
Yeah.
So if you missed it, you had another chance. I don't know if it's still available. I'll check that.
I don't think so. God, I really don't want to have to buy one of these things. Especially because I play mostly in handheld. What do I got to do? Buy a grip now? Walk around with my Switch on an N64 controller?
Out of stock. Oh, but you can get the Genesis.
There you go.
So the Genesis also has kind of a bad control setup. It's okay for the 3 buttons, the A, B, and C buttons.
Yeah.
6 buttons is fucked.
So what they did for the 6 button was they actually mapped. Wait, did they? No, they didn't. They mapped X to L, Y to X, and Z to R, like you're going across the line, like you would on a normal Genesis controller. That makes sense, but I feel like that's gonna be pretty awful to play with.
Yeah, so my biggest problem is again that there exists controllers that are styled after Sega Genesis controllers that we can't use with this system because they don't allow button remapping.
Right. So what I
it
used to do with emulators, like on my computer, and with the 8-bit do controller, I would actually map A, B, and C to the exact same layout that Nintendo does for
right,
Switch Online.
right.
But I would map X to the top button, to the X button, and then Y and Z to L and R, because that makes more sense in my mind than just going straight across the line or trying to replicate that.
Right.
So I would love to do that for this, but I can't.
So I think it's better. I think the Genesis games they did a better job with the controller setup. It's just it's just that certain controllers are screwed up. And that's I mean, of course Nintendo's not going to care about third-party controllers. Like they're going to think, it's their fault they didn't freaking get it. We don't want you to buy theirs anyway. We want you to buy our freaking $50 controller. $50 Sega Genesis controller. These other controllers, I have them already, and they're much cheaper, and they're not going to work.
Cheaper. Yeah.
And also, some of those controllers don't even work with the Classics collection, the Sega Genesis Classics collection, because that has a pretty whack control scheme too.
Yeah.
This whole thing is a little bit disappointing. That being said, Genesis isn't as whack as the N64 setup. Again,
no, yeah,
it's really not the end of the world. I did play Mario Kart a lot last night, and I got used to it after a while. But it's just such an easy fix for Nintendo. Just give us the option. I don't understand. And what makes it worse is that the Mario All-Stars collection has the buttons in the right spot. It's it's the correct controller layout. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I guess they want to try to have like some uniformity throughout all the games. So, and that kind of that makes sense. But at the same time, with something like the Nintendo 64, which had such a wacky controller to begin with, and every game used the controller differently, it really does like hinder the play experience. And this is especially true when you consider that Sin and Punishment has a completely different control layout.
That's true too, yeah.
Yeah. And, to be quite frank, it's a bad control layout. It actively it actively hinders my experience playing the game. I have to completely rewire my brain to try and get it to work right.
So why C left and C right?
So here's the thing. So with Sin and Punishment, it's like an on-rail shooter. So you aim your reticule with the analog stick. You don't move per se, but you can strafe left and right. And in the actual game, you strafe using either the D-pad or the C buttons. So I guess they decided to give you C left and C right act as actual buttons rather than the analog stick, to help you strafe easier.
Oh yeah, so the right stick. So that's the biggest problem here, is that the right stick just does what the left stick does. They didn't give you the right stick as a C stick for some reason.
Yeah.
What does up and down do on the C stick?
It doesn't do anything.
Oh, so then this is just stupid. This is just a.
And what makes it even worse, I don't even think the B button does anything. So theoretically, they could have made. Let me just look at it. They could have made Y and A C left and C right, and made the B button the A button, and that would have worked just fine. Because, then C left and C right would be in the right spot. But they didn't do that.
So you can remap buttons. Everybody always says this. You can remap buttons in the Switch's OS. There's controller remapping for Joy-Cons and Pro controllers and some other controllers, but not much. All the N64 style controllers don't work with the button remapping feature. And then you have to remap the buttons in the Switch's OS, which is not exactly what I want to do. I don't want to use these controller remappings for other games. I just want to use it for this game.
Yeah, that's the thing. People just want to remap them for the N64 collection.
Also, you cannot remap buttons to the left, the right stick, which is where the C buttons are. So you can't remap the C buttons, basically. You can only remap the C buttons if they're X and Y. And most of the time, that's not even the buttons I want to remap. So you can flip A and B. You can put them where they're supposed to be, but that's about it. The C buttons, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
So anyway,
and it's not like this game's gonna come to Switch Online, but I distinctly remember Tony Hawk's Pro Skater used the C buttons for all the moves.
Mm-hmm.
So like ollie, kickflip, grab, and grind, they use the C buttons. If a game like that were to come to Switch Online, what would they do? You can't really use the analog stick for that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Shell in the chat says you're meant to strafe with the D-pad and aim with the right stick.
Shell says aim with the left stick.
He messed up.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, but I get that. But when you have all the other N64 games use the left stick for movement, and now all of a sudden this one game gets a completely different control scheme, like how is that fair?
Can you do you shoot with the triggers?
That's another thing. So I think every game the Z button is ZL.
Mm-hmm.
I think in Sin and Punishment it's right. It's the R button.
It says ZL and ZR is the Z button.
Yeah.
So you don't get L or R, you just get the Z button on both.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I mean, well no. Well then wait. Why would it be the Z button if you're meant? Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. If you hold it with the D-pad in the left hand and the analog stick in the right hand, you could still hit the Z button with your right hand.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I'll have to give it a try, but I mean,
yeah.
I feel like I don't want to play any of these games until I get the friggin' N64 controller.
I know. And that really sucks because this could have been like, the ultimate N64 collection on the go, but as of now, it's not because the control scheme is holding it back.
So that's like my biggest issue. But there are more issues.
Yes.
Like for example, people are going nuts right now that the emulation is just bad. So I kind of forgive them for this because N64 emulation is really hard, and there are emulators that exist that do a better job, and there are hacks of certain games that do a better job. But Nintendo kind of scrambled to do it all themselves without the help of any of their fans who already did it. So there's going to be some jank, and everything's still playable. It's just that stuff like Mario 64 is the All-Star version is way better. Better. Like it looks a lot better. It looks like it's a higher resolution because I think they fixed some of the textures and the a lot of the like UI icons and stuff are up-resed and stuff.
Yeah.
It felt like it was a steady 30 frames instead of the Switch Online felt like it was less than 30. It was like somewhere in the 20s. It was just a bad situation, but other people are finding other problems.
Yeah, I haven't really played with it enough to really experience any of the issues that they're reporting on online. So I really can't speak to that. However, based on what everyone is saying, I'm not as forgiving as you are because they've shown they can do Nintendo 64 emulation properly on the Wii and the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
The Virtual Console games ran fine. And by all accounts, the versions that are on Switch Online are not as good as what was on Virtual Console.
True.
I don't know if they changed emulators, if the Switch hardware really is that different and really is harder to program to. But at the same time, this is Nintendo. They invented the systems and the software to make these games in the first place. They they should know how to get it working on a modern system on their own platform better than anyone.
Right. Yeah. It's very disappointing. Like we knew this was just going to be ROMs thrown in an app. But usually Nintendo puts a little bit of polish on stuff. Like even the All-Stars collection, they were getting a lot of flack for how they put together the All-Stars collection. But I actually thought it was fine. We could have gone with a few better control schemes. It took a while for them to get GameCube support to work, GameCube controller support to work with the All-Stars collection. But they put even less effort than that into this. And we saw that the All-Stars collection was a limited release, and we assumed that we would just get Mario 64 in a different way. And here we are getting it in a different way, and it's not even anywhere close to what we had with the All-Stars collection.
So, according to the IGN article that I have in our notes, over on Twitter, user Oatmeal Dome on Twitter reports that the emulator being used for Switch Online is the same one used in the Super Mario 3D All-Stars in Super Mario 64.
That doesn't surprise me.
Albeit stripped down of its specific elements designed just for Mario 64. The result of that emulation was generally praised, or at least seen as sufficient in reviews of 3D All-Stars. Despite this, it seems as if there is an emulation problem for the expansion pack games. So, we've spoken about this before on the podcast, but every Nintendo 64 game utilized the hardware differently. Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons why it's difficult to emulate N64 games, is because you can't just really create one emulator that satisfies every game. You have to really tailor every game to the emulator. That's what they did on Wii. That's what they did on Wii U with Virtual Console. For this, it sounds like they tried to do the opposite. They tried to make one emulator to encompass everything, and it's not working the way they wanted it to.
Yeah, you could see the problems when you're playing it. Also N64, the games didn't run great anyway. The games had their own problems even back then. Nothing ran at a steady 30 frames a second. 30 was the target, and nothing hit that. Everything was sub 30. Except for F-Zero was 60. So that's problem number one. Problem number two, the draw distances are horrendous. And you see that really bad here. You can see playing Mario Kart, characters just disappear. But that's partly because we're watching it at such a high resolution, and it's meant to be played on a little tiny CRT. So when characters get too far away, they would just turn to mush anyway. But here they just kind of disappear. And they made low poly versions of a lot of assets, so when they got really far away, they turned into low poly versions, just like the low poly Mario that's in Mario 64. When I played Mario, right here. Let's go back a little more. So already Nintendo 64 is not exactly gonna look the best. So here on screen right now, I have low poly Mario. You can see when he gets too far away from the camera, he just looks ugly. I forgot. I'm not sharing my screen with you. I'm so sorry, Will.
That's okay.
Sorry. What did you do something different? Because your camera looks good. Like you're not lagging.
No, I haven't done anything different. Everything is exactly the same.
You know what it is?
Everything is as it was in the past however many weeks we've been doing this. 54 weeks.
You know what it is? It's because I'm not sharing my camera.
There you go.
So you don't get a camera then.
Your fault.
It turns out it's been my fault all along.
This is what I've been trying to tell mom and dad for years.
So anyway, Nintendo 64 is always going to have problems, but some of these aren't. Some of these they can't get away with. Draw distances and stuff. Yeah, it's okay. They already fixed some of the assets in Mario 64 for the All-Stars collection. They didn't put it in this for some reason. I'm a little pissed about that, but whatever. That's weird. They had the work done, and they decided No, let's spend more time taking that work away from these people.
The only thing I can think of, the only mentality I can think of is they wanted to present these games as they were, like back in the 90s. The All-Stars collection tried to like not really update or modernize them, but give them like certain features and certain control aspects to make it feel better to play today. The Switch Online collections and even the Virtual Console to some extent were really more about giving you the games as they were when they first came out, warts and all.
See, I'd say that the Nintendo Switch Online collection is just an app that is an emulator, and all of the games are ROMs, and it's going to run them all the same.
Okay.
If you had the All-Stars collection version of Mario 64, that would be an exception. And then they have to make an exception in the Switch Online app, which honestly, do it. What's the problem? Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Nintendo decided to be Nintendo about this and got all weird with it. But again, that's just some little nitpicky things. I also, while playing Mario Kart, noticed the audio, the song would just cut out. And really? I thought that's a thing that happens with emulators sometimes. And that's how you can tell the emulator is doing like a bad job. Sometimes the audio just gets weird, or it cuts out, or it overblows, or it's slow. That's how you can kind of tell emulators get weird. So I assumed it was part of the emulator. Apparently, the L button just changes the song.
Really?
That's what somebody commented on Wood's video today. And Wood's mad at me now because I'm the one who told him that the music was being weird. Mario Kart 64 controls. Let's see. So that's one of the things that I noticed when I was playing the game.
Right. One thing that's been brought up a lot, especially with regards to Mario Kart 64, is that certain game features just don't work on Switch Online. In the Nintendo Life article I put, as reported by our pals over at Eurogamer, Mario Kart 64 is having an issue related to saving ghost data, something which required players to have an N64 memory pack back in the day, and has not, it seems, had a workaround implemented in the emulated version. So Mario Kart 64 had a feature where you can save ghost time trials to a memory pack and then re-upload them that way. Apparently, they didn't put a workaround in the Switch Online version. You still need to plug in a memory pack to your N64 controller to save ghost data. And guess what? Guess what you can't do on the Nintendo Switch? You can't plug in a memory pack.
These are the issues that we've seen in emulators before. And you kind of expect issues like that to happen with emulators. You do not expect issues like that to happen with Nintendo.
Yeah.
So,
other weird things, like apparently if you have the Japanese version of the N64 collection, you get the version of Mario 64 with Rumble, because that version only came out in Japan. If you have the North American version, you don't get that version and you can't switch between the two. That's something to keep note, but you would think they could easily add that to the collection, especially if they put that in Mario All-Stars.
I just don't care about Rumble.
I mean, you don't, but I know there are people out there who want the complete experience.
What is nice that no matter where you are, or I guess America or Europe, you have the option to show North America and European versions, and you can play both. So if you decide you want to play games at a slower clock speed, you can do that.
Yeah.
Here are the controls for Mario Kart, and L button. While playing, use this to set background music volume to on, half or off.
Huh. That makes sense. I never touched that button on the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, L.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, oopsies. Sorry, Wood. I'm gonna message him right now.
f-
So the biggest one that I saw, the first one that I saw immediately, was people playing Ocarina of Time, and
yes,
they were at the water temple, and there's no fog.
there's no fog. The way it's set up, you can see that the water is just a texture that's laid on top of uh the field. It doesn't even really look like water. It looks just like a JPEG on top of another JPEG.
So this is the Nintendo 64 version, straight from the Nintendo 64. This
Mhm.
is the Wii Virtual Console, stretched and all, and this is the N64. I mean, I'm sorry, this is the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, the Wii Virtual Console, it looks all right. Like,
Yeah, the Wii
there's still
Virtual
no
Console,
fog.
I mean, there's more fog.
It's smoother. They did a better job.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Switch one is just abysmal. Switch one's
Yeah.
pretty bad. These are
Yeah.
kind of things that you see in emulators, like because you're seeing the game at a resolution it was never intended to be seen at, and the polygons are so perfectly straight and stuff. You see a lot of weird stuff like this, but they've fixed this already. They've done this before. So like,
Yeah.
this is an issue. This is something that they did wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what other issues anybody else has with the Nintendo Switch Online games.
Those are the big ones. And a lot of people are reporting like input lag and bad frame rates. I mean, even worse frame rates for N64 games.
Mm-hmm.
So those seem to be the big ones.
So I have been I did play online with it.
Yeah.
I wasn't the host even. Wood was the host. It was playing off of his Switch. I guess that's how it works. I'm not even too sure. But I have to say the online was very good. We had a great connection the whole time. My stream kept dropping frames for some reason, but yeah, well, I didn't feel any input lag even and he lives in friggin' Texas. I didn't have any input lag playing with him at all, but that was in Mario 64. I mean Mario Kart 64. So I guess if you want to play friggin' Mario Kart, you might have a fine time.
Yeah.
But otherwise, this costs a lot of money and was very minimal work on Nintendo's end. So
yeah.
I'm a little bit disappointed. I would like to play some Star Fox. I want to play some Winback. I'm going to play these games.
Yeah.
I just wish it was a little bit better implemented and a little bit more polished.
Yeah, I just feel like, hopefully this is something that they can improve over time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll listen to fan feedback and put in the option to remap controller buttons and whatnot. I just feel like as of now, this is not worth purchasing. You're actually better off just buying the Sega Genesis collection and pretending like they never put N64 games on the Switch.
You can still get the All-Stars collection at some places.
Yeah, physically, you can still find them at like Target and whatnot.
But yeah, they can fix this. They actually did a pretty good job updating the All-Stars collection.
Yeah.
And I didn't think they would, but they actually did a pretty good job updating it. It's right now $60 on Amazon.
Yeah.
And it's on
Prime,
it
never went down in price.
So well, I expected it to go up because they're not selling it anymore.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm shocked that it's maintained its launch price.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say if you've been on the fence, maybe hold off until they update it or they got some more games on there, or maybe wait until you decide you want to play some of these games with somebody else.
Yeah.
As of right now, there's better ways to play these games. But anyway, let's read some notifications here.
Mm-hmm.
We got the real Waggo with 5 months. Hey, keep it up, bros. Hey, we got Sleeping Toads with 6 months. 6 months? That's almost 7 months.
It's true. It is almost
You're right.
7.
You're right. And Anonymous, from Anonymous, we got 100 bits. Thank you very much. Muggards, thanks for the 2 months. Mr. Morrow Streams, thanks for the 100 bits. How did it play on the authentic controller with the converter? Not good. The shoulder buttons are messed up. The shoulder buttons didn't work good. The C buttons worked as the right stick, so it was perfect for everything but Sin and Punishment. But the shoulder buttons were messed up. So they didn't work right, and you can't remap it, unfortunately. You can't remap it even in the Switch's OS for the converter. We got Ackmeister with 6 months. Happy 6 months. Listening to your podcast makes my work a breeze. Also, it's 2:30 a.m., so I'm just here to say hi and bye. Love you guys. Thank you, Ackmeister. I appreciate you stopping by, even though you listen to us at work.
Yeah.
Flying Toe, thank you for the Prime subscription. All right. So there you go. I hope some of you guys are at least having a good experience with your Switch Online situation.
It's most likely is going to be different from person to person. Some people might experience more glitches and lag and whatnot than others. Just, keep an eye out. And if you see something, complain. And hopefully Nintendo will fix it.
Yes. Let's talk about the Halo campaign reveal. Was it just that one 6-minute trailer?
Yeah.
I watched it. It looked cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Where's the article? This is from PC Gamer. I'm bullish about how good Halo Infinite feels to play in technical tests. Hell, I've even likened it to Titanfall 3 after spending a weekend grappling around with its brilliant big team battles. But the absence of any campaign footage since 2019 has been troubling, an absence that 343 Industries thankfully remedied with a fresh new gameplay trailer this afternoon. Where our first glimpse of Halo Infinite's campaign gave us a straight run-through of a single mission, today's overview provided a more complete overview of how this open-ended Halo will play out. To that end, we do, in fact, see plenty of open-world trappings, with Chief approaching Banshee, a new hot covenant that comes with a bright red makeover, bases, and blowing them to hell with rocket launchers, grenades, and thrown explosive barrels. As someone who's adored their time in the multiplayer fights, it's exciting to see the same sandbox applied to traditional Halo baddies like Jackals and Hunters, but there are some less traditional Halo elements, including bosses with full-on health bars and vehicle stations that let you literally pluck wasps and warthogs from the sky. Peek at the world map.
I'm surprised they were able to pull this much out of that trailer. Like, I watched that 6-minute trailer, I was like, yeah, it looks like Halo, okay.
I did notice some different things, like the fact that there was a station where you could just summon a vehicle, like any vehicle at your disposal, and it'll just appear. It literally just drops out of the sky and crashes on the ground.
I saw that. That was a little weird.
It's funny. I did see you had there was stats and armor layouts that you can customize and stuff, which is different. I don't know when they implemented that into Halo. A peek around the world map also shows us collectibles and side missions like the aforementioned outpost assaults, while there is also upgrade trees to add more charges to equipment like grappling hooks and repulsors. It also appears you'll have a Spartan killing elite stalking you throughout the campaign. And for as much as Infinite wants to move beyond 343's previous games, the studio couldn't resist bringing back some ancient Forerunner adjacent aliens. It's that last part, plus the game's narrative centering on a new, terribly naive AI named The Weapon, effectively a younger, less confident Cortana, that has me a little concerned about the direction of Infinite's campaign may be taking. Yeah, there was noticeably, he has a new AI companion called The Weapon, who is basically just super young and naive Cortana, who I feel like I would hate if I was playing this game. She just seems too like happy and eager. Like, yes, Master Chief, this is the way you need to go. Ooh, he looks scary. What are we gonna do? Yeah. Not about that.
Yeah. I've never really been into the Halo campaigns. I played the second one a little. I played it through the co-op of the second one. I've usually just been into the multiplayer.
See, I'm the opposite because I'm generally more of a single player guy anyway. I tried to get into Halo Reach. I could not. I tried. The only Halo game I ever really got into was the first one, and that was through the Master Chief Collection. I actually found that to be a lot of fun for a game that was like 10 years old at that point. Probably even 15 years old by the time I played it. This trailer does look a lot better than the original campaign trailer we got a year ago. It does look like they improved a lot of things. It looks like they improved the graphics tremendously. People are already showing off pictures of that one guy who looks a lot better than he did in the first trailer. And it's nice that they showed like all the other things you can do in the game, like summoning cars and upgrading your skill tree and things like that. So, I mean, it looks like Microsoft didn't fuck around. They actually tried to make the game better and like present it better. And, now's the time to show it because the game launches in 2 months.
Yeah, I did like what I saw. Like it did look a lot better than the old trailer did. I mean, the old trailer was just like he was swinging around. I mean, first of all, there was people memeing on how bad the grunts looked and stuff. But
yeah,
to me, it was just boring. He was just like swinging around, and it's like, okay, we've seen this in games before. This isn't anything revolutionary. But
yeah, it's just basically Halo, but they added a grappling hook.
Yeah, this just looked like it was like a pretty game. Like this looked like it would be fun.
This looked like it was a next-gen Halo game.
I played the beta of the multiplayer, and it was a lot of fun. I think it was only really fun because I was playing with a lot of other people. It was a little buggy because the game's not out yet, so I don't want to fault it for that. But when this game comes out, I'm gonna play a little bit of the multiplayer. I feel like it's gonna be a decent, fun time.
Yeah, and the multiplayer is gonna be free to play. So
yeah, free to play, 4K, 120 frames per second if you have the capability. So I'm going to friggin' do that, and it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Speaking of 4K, 120 frames per second, that Eve Spectrum monitor of mine is giving me fucking problems. It's got weird power problems. It's got weird, like, input switching problems. It's a beautiful monitor. Yeah. But it's poorly made.
That's the one that was, like, kickstarted and had, like, weird controversy around it? Or am I thinking of a different one?
Yeah, it had weird controversy because they only made one other thing and they never made it, or they didn't ship it, or some people didn't get it, or it had some weird problems. And then I made a video on it, and then they yelled at me in emails that they gave me bullet points of why all of my criticisms. They gave me bullet points why I was wrong about my criticism.
Okay,
but anyway, I'm excited to try Halo Infinite in 120 frames per second on my cool new monitor that I don't like anymore. It comes out in December 8th.
Yes.
But aren't they delaying? What are they delaying?
I think they're delaying co-op.
Okay.
And fine. The Forge.
That's fine. Forget those. People are excited about those, but not immediately important.
Mm-hmm.
We can hold off on this. Do whatever they need to do whatever they can to hit this target because, we want the game to be good. We want the game first and foremost. The game has to be good. So normally, I would say take your time, do whatever you got to do. But they already delayed this game a year. This is the prime exclusive.
This is supposed to be the launch title for the system.
If this launched with the Xbox Series X, I think the Xbox would have done a lot better than it's already doing. And if they delay it again, it's not going to be good. So they really need to.
They can use this opportunity as like kind of a soft relaunch of the system.
So I think it's actually a good idea to put off the stuff that isn't immediately important.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be looking forward to this. And I was gonna say I won't even buy it because I'll just play the multiplayer. But you know what? It's gonna be on freaking Game Pass.
True.
So
I really have no excuse.
Yeah, I'll have it anyway. All right, we got more notifications, I think. Tendo with the 2 months. Do the youths even play Halo anymore? That's a very good question.
That is a very good question.
They don't, because they don't know what it is. When was the last Halo game?
Halo 5 Guardians.
Yeah, and when was that?
That did not... Not that it didn't perform well, but I know that was not a fan favorite.
I mean,
2015.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like people who are in high school now,
yeah,
they didn't play that. That's what I'm saying. Like I think the youths don't even know what Halo is, and that's one thing that's a little concerning because this is going to come out. It's going to have the same sort of multiplayer that it's always had, and I don't know if the youths are going to be into that. They want their battle royales or whatnot.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I mean, I was also a little worried about that because I've been into battle royales. I was like, I don't know how much I want to play a team-based shooter right now. But then I played it and I was like, nah, never mind. This is great.
I think the fact that the multiplayer is going to be free to play is going to help. And it's going to hopefully get people who have never played a Halo game before to try it. I think the fact that this game is also going to be rated T, like Halo 5 was, whereas the previous Halo games were rated M for stupid reasons. I think that's also going to help too, because nobody cares if little Timmy plays a rated T game. I think this game has the best chance of reintroducing Halo to the world and to the next generation if Microsoft doesn't fuck it up.
Muggards in the chat says youths play anything that is free to play. He's not wrong.
Not wrong. I should also remind everyone this is not just coming to Xbox Series X. It's also coming to Xbox One and Windows.
Yeah.
So it's going to be on more platforms at launch than any other Halo game.
And an Xbox Series S, those have been becoming more available.
Yes.
And those are awesome. I have mine right here on my desk. I don't know if you don't need to see it. I'm literally touching it. You could just believe me. It's freaking awesome. I still use it all the time. It's great to have if you want to have somebody. You know, if I got 2 monitors here, I got one person playing on one person playing on the other. It's freaking awesome. And it's just as good. It's just only 1440p instead of 4K. And a lot of you out there who want these cool new consoles aren't even gonna play them at 4K anyway. And another problem is that the PlayStation 5 can't even do 1440p. It's been out a whole year and it still can't do 1440p. Anyway.
PS5 can't do a lot of things.
Can't do a lot of things. We just now got the ability to friggin' put a hard drive in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you're excited about Halo. What about Super Mario Party Superstars Saga continues?
Speaking of games that only our generation really cares about, Super Mario Party Superstars resurrects the palm shredding video game from 1998.
Video game? So wait, pause. Hold up.
Yes.
The picture here is from the Nintendo 64. Correct?
Yes.
This isn't... Okay, good. I was worried for a second. I was like, wait. Mario Party Superstars. This game is just recreating the mini games. It's not emulating Mario Party, because we would have had some problems if that was happening. Okay, that scared me for a minute. All right, anyway, you may continue. I'm so sorry.
Mario Party Superstars is bringing back a 23-year-old minigame and a warning that harkens back to the old N64 controller's analog stick. Tug of War, a 3-on-1 game where players rotate the analog stick to pull the rope, is among the 100 video games launching with Superstars next week. Back in the day, kids would flatten their palm to wind the sticks even faster, which ended up simulating a rope burn. Parents complained that their kids had gotten blisters, bruises, friction burns, and cuts playing tug of war in Mario Party. It was bad enough that Attorney General for New York State and soon-to-be disgraced, soon-to-be ex-governor Eliot Spitzer got involved. That's because he fooled around behind the scenes and didn't tell anybody about it. Or did he send people pictures of his dick? I can't remember. We've had some weird, wacky
all
politicians.
the above, Will. That's I mean, there's a lot of New York politicians sending dick pics around.
Yep.
Too many, if you ask me.
State kind of sucks. So here we see a tweet that says they're bringing back the original controls for the game, and it comes with a warning. It comes complete with a warning. To avoid irritation to your skin and or damage to the control stick, do not rotate this with the palm of your hand. As CNET reported, way back in 2002, Spitzer's office negotiated an agreement with Nintendo for the company to provide 4 pairs of sports gloves to every Mario Party owner who wanted them. This request had to be accompanied by some rather erroneous proof of ownership and purchase information. Very few parents were believed to have actually taken Nintendo up on this offer. Fewer than 100 directly complained to Nintendo. It doesn't look like a warning was ever slapped on Mario Party back in the day. Kotaku pointed out that another minigame, Pedal Power, featured the same stick input. It's not included in Superstars, however. At the time, said CNET, a recording on Nintendo of America's hotline for Mario Party recommends that players avoid injuries simply by manipulating the joystick with their thumb and forefinger rather than the palm of their hand. Novel idea. Tug of War's warning in Superstar explicitly says do not rotate the stick with the palm of your hand. But 2000s kids remember that in the cold, cruel world of Mario Party, where you don't get participation trophies, you had to be willing to sacrifice a hand. Now that they're adults, I expect them to pass this lesson on to the next generation. Mario Party Superstars launches on October 29th. You bet your ass I'm going to be telling my kid that if she wants to win in Mario Party, you got to use the palm of her hand and spin it around real fast.
So I Googled around Mario Party glove.
Yeah.
And we had these gloves.
Did we?
Not the Mario Party glove, but like Harbinger?
Those are Dad's exercise gloves.
Yeah, and look, that's would you look up Mario Party?
Literally what they sent them?
No, I don't think so. I think that's just what people are using. Because I want to know what the glove looks like.
I remember hearing it was just a white glove. It was just like a white athletic glove.
Maybe it was the Harbinger.
Maybe.
Because that's what's coming up. It's just that.
Yeah. I remember I wanted to try and get a pair back in the day.
I remember, yeah.
But it was like some weird ass way you had to typically when you show proof of purchase, you have to send a receipt or a UPC code. And I remember it not being that. So
as a user search, I finally got my hands on not 1 but 4 of the infamous Mario Party gloves. Yeah, this is just Dad's workout gloves. Okay, so that's upsetting. I thought it was gonna be like a cool, like rare Nintendo item, but literally, this is just Dad's. Or what if we did it and Dad stole the gloves?
Yo, that would be some shady shit.
That is really disappointing. I thought it was gonna be like a cool little like a cool little collector's item, but not really.
No, I remember when I heard about them, like they weren't gonna be like branded gloves or anything like that. They were just, basic gloves. But knowing that our father had several pairs of these, he was ahead of the game.
He would be really good at Togo War.
Yeah.
So this game comes out on Friday. And you can watch us play it on twitch.tv/Wulff Den on Thursday because I have a wizard who's dropping off the game for me.
Ooh.
I hate Mario Party. I hate it. It's a dumb game. This is just the mini games though. So no, it's not. But don't they recreate like classic boards too?
I think so. I don't remember. Like there was one that was just the mini games. but I don't think that's it.
No, that was for the 3DS, I think.
Yeah.
So, wait. Yeah. I don't know. No, they have boards too. I think it's a bullshit game and it's dumb and it's just completely arbitrary who wins and it just makes me want to rage quit every time. So I hate it. But I'll be playing it. So you got to see me play it. 5 boards are recreated. Okay. All right, so that's that. You can check that out this week. Hey, McCree's got a new name. You know him, the guy.
Blizzard has announced that Overwatch's McCree will now be known as Cole Cassidy going forward. They're renaming the cowboy to distance him from his real-life namesake, former Blizzard employee Jesse McCree. He left the developer due to unknown reasons in August, but his departure came after the state of California filed a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard, alleging the company fostered a frat boy culture of sexual harassment and discrimination. The name change will take effect in-game tomorrow. This article was written on October 25th, so today. So he will now be known as Cole Cassidy going forward. Also, it should be noted that it's not unknown why Jesse McCree left. He was implicated in a lot of the accusations leveled against Activision Blizzard, including being involved in what was called the Cosby Suite during BlizzCon 2013.
Yes, I did read into the Cosby Suite situation.
Blizzard had previously said that this would be folded into a narrative arc that we'll see at some point. From this little paragraph, it sounds like they're treating McCree as an outlaw name the cowboy is ditching. So there's going to be an in-story reason why he will no longer be known as McCree. So he will now be known as Cole Cassidy.
I want to explain the Cosby Suite situation from what I understand.
Yes.
So what I understand is that they would go to like conventions and stuff. And some of the Activision bros, they would have like a hotel suite where they would do like interviews and not interviews, but like they would have meetings and stuff with other business people. But really they would just bring girls back there, and they called it the Cosby Suite. It's implicated that they called it the Cosby Suite because they were doing like rapey shit, but supposedly this was happening before Cosby was like outed for what he did, and supposedly they called it the Cosby Suite because the decor was like a Cosby sweater. But either way, creepy shit was going on in the Cosby Suite. So fuck the guy whose name was Jesse McCree, but also I think it's a little stupid to change his name.
I mean,
I think it's like a lot. I think it's like a lot to have to change his name for that. Just,
I know. Like,
I feel like they could say fuck that guy and also our guy is better.
You can and you can't to a certain extent. Like, I mean, there's always going to be that hanging over the character. There's still going to be that hanging over the character. I just don't know if there's a good way to go about this aside from removing him completely, which I don't think is the answer at all.
Right.
Yeah, I think this might be the best option. It's the best option for a bad situation.
Yeah, I mean, the name Cole Cassidy isn't bad. I think it's totally fine. McCree was just such a good, like, one word name for him.
Yeah.
But, and they can also just call him Cassidy. Cassidy's also a good name for him, too. But it's kind of like a generic, Western name.
Well, so is McCree.
True. You're right. You're not wrong. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm a little excited for Overwatch 2. I played a decent amount of the original Overwatch. It was fun, but
Overwatch was fun.
So I've been playing recently. Well, I played a little bit of Valorant.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
And I actually really liked it. It was really good. It's like really? Counter-Strike and Overwatch had a little baby.
Interesting.
It's pretty good.
It's free to play, right?
Yes. I didn't buy any characters or anything.
Right.
It's pretty good. Only had one weirdo in chat, but it was pretty good.
Nice.
Anyway. So yeah, we don't know when Overwatch 2 is coming out. I think it got delayed.
No, it's still in development.
Interesting. Okay. Well, anyway, what else do we got?
Real quick, Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, which was set to launch on December 3rd, will now release for the Nintendo Switch in spring 2022. The game just needs a little more time for fine-tuning. You'll be battling with Andy and his friends soon. Thank you for your patience. This is from the official Nintendo of America Twitter account. Advance Wars 1 and 2 has been delayed.
And this just in, RGT85 is very sad about it.
Yeah.
Didn't this recently, wasn't this supposed to come out recently?
It's supposed to come out on December 3rd.
December 3rd, okay.
Yeah, so it got delayed.
Somebody was talking about how they had a lot. Oh, I think Jackson wanted to he wanted to make content around this. He was really hoping for this. Here it is.
Yeah, I mean, Advance Wars is very popular. It's got a very dedicated following, and I know at least one friend who's like really into it. But he also said that he also has a Game Boy Advance emulator on his phone, so he just plays it on that.
Wow, it's almost as if it's hard for people to get a game, they will just find a way to get it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But for people who wanted the newer version of it, you gotta wait a little longer. Sorry.
I think this is fine. There's a huge Advanced Wars fan base. Advanced Wars got a lot of people into real-time strategy games. There's also, I think, people who like this. There's a lot of overlap with Final Fantasy Tactics, and there's also another indie game that was supposed to be a spiritual successor to Advanced Wars.
Oh, yes. I don't remember exactly what it's called.
Trying to look it up.
Yeah.
There's a game called Wargroove, which is not the one I'm thinking of, but that is also similar.
Advance Wars is interesting because it dates back to the Famicom, or is known as Famicom Wars, and then it just never came out in America until Advance Wars.
Tiny Metal is the game that I was thinking of. Whoops. Tiny Metal is released already, so go play that, everybody.
Okay.
Or Wargroove, apparently. What is it out on? Oh, Switch and PC. Go get it.
There you go.
Nintendo Life gave it a 9 out of 10. Metacritic gave it a 65. So who's telling the truth here? So yeah, sorry about that if you're an Advanced Wars guy, but you know what? It'll be better in the end. You'll get a better product in the end anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, Microsoft announces a new expansion cards for Xbox Series. What? Oh, these things.
2 terabyte and 512 gigabyte Seagate storage expansion cards for the Xbox Series X and S.
Do I want 1 terabyte? I don't need storage.
At the launch of the Series X and S, Designed for Xbox announced a close collaboration with Seagate to expand next-gen storage with 1 terabyte Seagate storage expansion cards. Designed for Xbox has collaborated with Seagate once again, and we're excited to announce a 512 gig and 2 terabyte storage expansion cards for Series X and S will be available soon in all Xbox markets. The Seagate 512 gig storage expansion card is available for pre-order today from Walmart in the United States for, get ready, $140, and it will launch in mid-November. Other markets and availability, please check your local retailers. The 2 terabyte storage expansion card will be available for pre-order in November and cost $400.
Never mind, I don't want this anymore.
It will launch in early December. The 2 terabyte expansion card will also be the next product featuring the Designed for Xbox Limited Series badge, ensuring a premium product quality, performance, and design. Yeah, these expansion cards are very expensive. I forgot
Mhm.
how much the 1 terabyte one is, but it's in the middle, and it's like ridiculously expensive for what is essentially a memory card. The problem is, um, it's $220 for the 1 terabyte. The problem is, if you want to store and play Series X and S games off of an external storage device, you have to use these expansion cards. You can store games on a traditional hard drive, but you can't play them off a traditional hard drive. You have to use these because these are designed to take advantage of the velocity architecture within the Series X and the Series S.
It's very bad that these are proprietary cards. I don't like
Yes.
that. That's stupid. And
Yes.
Microsoft did this with the freaking Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. Uh, it's well, did they do it with the Xbox One? I don't remember with the Xbox 360.
No, the Xbox One, they allows you to plug in any hard drive
Mhm.
and use that to like store your games and play your games off of. But they didn't allow you any option to upgrade your internal hard drive
Right.
like you could on the PlayStation 4.
Right. And even honestly, the with the second version of the Xbox 360, me and my friends used to pop those external drives open, or those expansion drives open, and just put our own hard drives in there, and it worked just fine.
Yeah.
I suppose you can't do that with this.
No.
All that being
No, because it's all
said,
solid state. Yeah.
PlayStation 5 got the leg up. You can use whatever M.2 drive you want and just pop it in. Now, after a whole year after updating.
And you can't necessarily use whatever M.2 NVMe drive you
Right.
want. It has to be a certain generation, it has to have a certain clock speed, it has to be a certain size, it has to have a heat sink, and that heat sink has to be a certain size.
It has to be on their approved list, and most of them are on, like, a lot of the ones that you would probably get anyway are on that approved list.
Right.
However, a 512 gigabyte Xbox card, $140, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
That's, yeah.
But
And this,
an M.2 drive, I got a Samsung one right here, $160.
for how much?
It's more,
Storage.
512. It's more money.
Yeah, that's the problem, because like M.2 drives are very expensive. The only advantage is that theoretically it should go down over the years in price as these
Right.
get cheaper to make and manufacture and whatnot. But it's not, doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon. So, and with the Microsoft option, you just buy it, you plug it in, and it'll work. You don't have to worry about opening the thing up, finding the slot, making sure the thing fits, making sure the heat sink's on, and all this other crap. Problem is, you have to only use. I think we crashed.
We did. We're back. We're back.
Okay. The problem is, I lost my train of thought.
Well, everybody in the chat, go.
All right. I was saying there's pros and cons to both situations. Either one of them is ideal.
Everyone in chat is. I think we crashed when I said, however. However, the friggin' this, you can get a Samsung M.2 for more money. Like the M.2 drives for the PlayStation are more money than these proprietary drives.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be around the same price. I'm sure you can get a discount M.2 drive for around the same price. But it sucks that they're proprietary. I'm sure the M.2s will go down in price. But anyway, it's really not the end of the world, I don't think.
No.
But we had expansion drives already, right? These are just different ones.
Well, we had a 1 terabyte one, and now they're offering a 512 and a 2 terabyte. So they have an entry level model and a model that costs more than a Series S.
Right. I understand now.
Really, these things are perfect for the Series S because that doesn't have a lot of internal memory to begin with. But I don't know if I would buy a memory card that costs more than the system itself.
Yeah. I mean, I did that with the Switch. So maybe I would. Which I still haven't put in the new Switch, by the way. I'm being lazy about that. That's gonna be a whole process.
I get it.
Anyway, what else we got? Oh, we're not. What do we have to talk about the Uncharted movie trailer?
I guess if you really don't want to.
Do you have anything to say about it? It's stupid.
Yeah, just play the game. And I know you could say that for every video game movie, but more so with Uncharted. Just play the game. It looks exactly like the games to the point where they're using actual gameplay, like they're using an actual gameplay scenario in the movie, and it doesn't look any different.
All right, I guess we're talking about the Uncharted trailer.
All
not,
right.
I can't even play it because we'll get freaking cease and desist.
Yeah.
Where's his mustache? I thought Mark Wahlberg had a mustache.
Remember, this is a prequel, so this is before. It's probably the story of how Sully earns his mustache.
Ah, all right, making sense. So it sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, what about Lego passes on Hyrule Castle set idea? How do we know this?
Because I think the Lego set was part of the Lego Ideas, where you submit. Yeah, Lego Ideas, the platform where fans can design Lego sets, then sees them licensed and sold in stores, has given us some fantastic builds over the years. Sadly, this big Hyrule Castle won't be one of them. There are a few hurdles for a project to be cleared before signing off by Lego. First is that it needs over 10,000 votes from members from the community. Then it has to be selected by judges from a pool of all designs that manage to hit that threshold. Then it needs to actually be given the licensing green light, something achieved by loads of idea winners in the past. The Hyrule Castle got the 10,000 votes part, but it wasn't among the winners announced by Lego's blog post from last week. It's unclear at which subsequent hurdle it fell over, but given the quality of the build, it doesn't seem outrageous to me to guess that the issue was licensing. Nintendo's current Lego partnership results in sets that, while unique in their own way, aren't as traditional as this. And it's a damn shame because this really is a really fancy looking castle set.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. They don't have like they're not doing traditional Nintendo minifigs.
Yeah,
I
think that's the thing. Yeah,
yeah. It seems like Nintendo put the kibosh on Lego's ideas for certain things. I mean, I think it's a miracle that Lego's working with Nintendo at all. Part of it might be because if Nintendo lets Lego do the minifig, then they might get roped into like the movie and like the Lego games and stuff. There might be some overlap there, and Nintendo's like, no, we just want you to make the Lego.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
this seems like it makes perfect sense for the way that the Legos have been going for Nintendo.
Yeah, I know this isn't the first time Nintendo's squashed a really good Lego Zelda set or any Nintendo themed set that gets submitted to Lego Ideas. This honestly though looks like the nicest one.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and it's a shame that we're not getting it.
Lego Ideas has had a lot of good stuff.
Oh yeah, the Ecto one that I have is from Lego Ideas. The DeLorean set that I got you one year was from Lego Ideas.
Mm-hmm. Guys, I don't know what to tell you. I friggin' downloaded the old version of OBS because I thought it was a OBS issue, but it's not. I'm still using the VPN. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
Yeah,
I could try a different VPN. I mean, like I can VPN to a different place.
Are you VPNing from a different place than you usually do?
No. It just started happening all of a sudden. And so when it disconnects and reconnects, that's totally fine. But right now, it's at a low bit rate and just like inconsistent, which is what the VPN should be fixing. It should be making it consistent.
Right.
Well, anyway, I could try to. I could. I'm gonna try to fix it real quick. Let's do a little cheese right now. Nobody
All
move.
right.
Everybody hold on to your butts. Oh, that's annoying. I'm gonna VPN to New York. There you go. That should fix it. Hopefully it just goes back up. Oh, do I have to stop streaming? Do I have to hit the stop streaming button? Yes, I do. Refresh. All right. Now we're back at a consistent bit rate for the time being.
All right.
Hey, Grand Theft Auto Trilogy finally announced it's coming. Wow, who would have guessed?
We've mentioned this before that like there's been leaks and stuff, but now Rockstar's like, fine, it's real. This is it. It'll be available on all platforms digitally November 11th. And a physical release for Xbox, Switch, and PS4 will be on December 7th. It has enhanced graphics, GTA 5 style controls. The Switch will feature gyro aiming as well as touchscreen for camera zoom, pans, and menu selections. It'll feature achievements and trophies for the PS4 and the Xbox One. PC version will include NVIDIA DLSS and additional new accomplishments via the Rockstar Games Social Club. And of course, various other new enhancements that they haven't really announced at the time. It's exciting. I just want to note, I think the enhanced graphics look terrible.
I can't tell if they look good or bad. I'm having a hard time deciding. Sometimes they look bad, sometimes they look good.
Yeah, I think they look especially bad in the character models, and especially with GTA 3.
The environments look really nice and the lighting looks really nice. The polygons are still the same garbage polygons.
I know.
And the character models are like cartoony, but the lighting is really realistic, so it like looks weird.
It's like this weird mesh, and I don't know if I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a
I
very
don't know how to
weird.
feel about it.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that one shot. So about 27 seconds in, they show like the old Grand Theft Auto, and then it washes to the new one, and the old one looks better. Like it's the character model, because that's what the focus of the picture is, the character model, and you're looking at the character model, and he looks great, and he's got a nice shadow on him, it looks awesome, and then it washes over, and he looks terrible, but the rest of it looks good. Actually, no, the rain doesn't look good either. The rain is following the camera.
Yeah, I mean, I think as the games progress, it gets better. Like San Andreas, I mean, obviously, is the more recent game to come out in this set originally, so that looks substantially better than the other ones do. But like Vice City and especially GTA 3, this like weird mashup just like doesn't click.
Yeah. Also of note, I believe that it was found out that the game on Switch is being published by Nintendo.
The physical version is being published by Nintendo. Yeah.
But the physical version, we think it has a download in it. I
think so.
Like it's not actually physical.
So according to the game page on the Nintendo eShop, the game file size is going to be 25 gigs.
Mm-hmm.
What's the largest Switch game cart size? Is it 32?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Nintendo Switch cartridge file size. Crispy X is 32.
Yeah, because I know the Resident Evil triple pack that I have, only Resident Evil 4 is on a cart, and like 5 and 6 you have to download. I'm wondering if it's something similar where they can only fit like one of the games on the cart, and then the rest you have to download.
Capcom does that. I mean, they did it with Mega Man for no reason. Like
Yeah.
they had plenty of room, but I guess they didn't want to pay for the bigger carts.
That's what I think. I think it's a price thing. It's probably more expensive to put the whole game on a cart rather than just let you download it.
64 gigabyte cartridges were planned to be introduced in the second half of 2018, but due to unspecified circumstances, Nintendo originally delayed the launch of this variant to 2019, then delayed again to 2020. As planned, the 64 gigabyte cartridges released in 2020 and are made using extra ROM technology from Macronix. So as of 2020, you can now get 64 gigabyte cartridges, but those are probably expensive.
Yeah. Speaking of expensive, you can pre-order the game now, like I said, and it's $60. It's a full game it's a full retail price for 3 games that are almost 20 years old at this point.
It's 3 games, and they're big games, and there's a lot you can do in
Big
those
games, and
so.
they're also arguably like the most important games of that generation.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, somebody in chat just said I never saw the appeal of Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto, I didn't beat. So I beat Grand Theft Auto 2, and then Grand Theft Auto 5. So I didn't really play any of the 3D ones. I played San Andreas, but I didn't like the story. I just liked running around just doing dumb shit.
I think San Andreas was the first one we actually like owned, because like before that we were GameCube kids and we would go over to our friend's house and play PS2, and they had Grand Theft Auto 3 and later Vice City, and we're like, oh, we're missing out. So when we finally got our PS2, San Andreas was going to be the new one, but that game had a lot of like weird RPG elements and a lot of weird control aspects to it, and I kind of like fell out of it because there was this one mission that was like really unintuitive to play, and so I'm like, I'm not playing this anymore. And at that point, I'm the type of person who needs context for their violence, and if I don't have that, then it's not interesting. Grand Theft Auto 4 is not as good as everyone says it is. Grand Theft Auto 5 is legitimately great, and I think we were at a place where like we can actually play it to completion and enjoy it because they figured out how to make a good Grand Theft Auto game by that point.
It had a really good story, and I was into it. I was down. I was in it for the long haul, and again, the gameplay was solid. Grand Theft Auto games have a great, even if you're not playing the story, if you're just screwing around, the gameplay loop is great. Just driving around and like jumping off of ramps and like running from the cops is a fun gameplay loop. It just so happens that you can run over people and shoot people, and that's what people end up doing sometimes.
I would be curious to actually get this set and give it a try now in 2021 with the GTA 5 control scheme, because I feel like that would help my enjoyment of the game that much more.
Yeah.
Also, the ability to, if you fail a mission, you don't get thrown all the way back to a hospital and drive to the mission to start it. You can actually just start the mission over again from the beginning. And maybe checkpoints in the middle of a mission so you don't have to start the whole fucking mission over again.
Yeah, games back in the day didn't really have that down, have saves down. No. It took a while for saves and checkpoints to get up to snuff.
I'll also note that according to howlongtobeat.com, Grand Theft Auto 3 is 15 hours, GTA Vice City is 19 hours, and San Andreas is 31 hours.
Damn.
So these are long games.
That explains why I never beat San Andreas.
Yeah. $60, you will get your money's worth. Well, according to this, San Andreas is the same length as GTA 5.
Yeah, but GTA 5 was like good.
Yeah, true.
Hey, look at this. God of War is coming to the PC. Wow, amazing.
Yes, Sony continues their trend of porting their games over to the PC, specifically their games that have been out for years. Don't expect a day and date launch, and it's coming to PC soon. Please load. January 2022. 14th.
Yes. People are upset about this.
People were upset when they announced Horizon Zero Dawn was going to come to PC.
So I saw people. I saw a lot of people on Twitter being like, "If you're upset about this, then you're stupid." Blah blah blah. And I was like, nobody's actually upset about this. And then I clicked on like one of the tweets announcing it, and there were actually people that were. It's a lot of people being like, Sony doesn't have any exclusives anymore. And it's like, what do you care? The more people who get it, the better. Play it on your fucking $2,000 PC then.
Yeah. I don't understand why exclusivity matters in this case, especially because it's still console exclusive.
Yeah.
You can play it on PC, but that's not really who you're fighting with, is it? In your weird little mind. You're fighting with people who play it on Xbox.
I don't think there's competition between PC and console.
There really isn't. There hasn't been for years. The only people who think there's competition between PC and console are PC gamers.
Yes.
That's it.
Consoles are the easy to use entry level gaming device. And if you want to go out there and spend, a lot of money on a freaking PC to play your games, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And now you can also play God of War, so it's good. It's a good thing. Yeah. So, I mean, the more people who get to enjoy a game like this, the better. I thought God of War was okay. It was very pretty.
It was. I felt it got better the more you played it, especially when you got to unlock the Blades of Chaos and it actually felt like a God of War game, not some weird melee game with third-person shooter controls.
Yeah.
Also, it was too big for its own good. Like, it did not have to be this big open world game with like a skill tree, because I didn't wind up using half of the skills in that game.
Right.
Of note, though, Sony representatives have confirmed that the port is being overseen by series creators at Sony Santa Monica, while otherwise it's being handled by Jetpack Interactive, a port-focused studio based in Vancouver. As this studio has never worked with Sony, Ars Technica cannot necessarily point to a track record that has them optimistic about this surpassing the outsourced Sony PC ports like Horizon Zero Dawn. So this is not Sony internal.
Lenosis, who is known for pretty much exclusively saying dumb shit in our chat, says the entire point of consoles is that you're buying it for the exclusives. Then they break their promise. That's the entire point of owning a console. Will is
just that
is the exclusive.
So does that mean that you don't play any of the third-party games that come to the console? You don't play like a Tomb Raider or Final Fantasy or a Call of Duty or a Battlefield or anything like that?
I think he's trying to say, like, when you're deciding between like an Xbox or a PlayStation, you might get the PlayStation because it has the exclusives. But you're not deciding between, well, I guess maybe some idiot like Lenosis is deciding between a PC and a PlayStation because he wants to play God of War. That just seems like a bad choice.
Yeah. Also, as Jubal Void pointed out, God of War was exclusive for years. It's not driving console sales anymore. This is true. God of War, again, came out in 2018. This port is coming out in 2022. 18, 19, 20, 21, 4 years later.
Yeah.
So everyone who bought it on PS4 bought it already.
That's true. This is a PS4 game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the next God of War might also come to PC 4 years later.
Yeah.
You can expect the exclusives. You should expect exclusives to have a 1 year exclusivity.
Yeah.
Something like God of War might have a couple of years, but you should pretty much expect a 1 year exclusivity on especially PlayStation games. For Nintendo, you can expect a forever exclusivity. That's fucking things never coming to PC. But yeah, for the most part, you could expect a 1 year exclusivity. people are getting a console because of their ease of use and how cheap they are and how they're a nice entry level way to play these big expensive games.
Yeah.
You're not deciding between a PC and a PlayStation 5. You're deciding between an Xbox and a PlayStation 5. And in that case, I think you're still. I don't think anybody's butthurt here.
Yeah.
Again, the more people who are able to play these games, the better. So, and we should be happy that other people are able to experience it. We shouldn't be butthurt that we bought it 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, was that the last one?
Yes.
Oh my God, we're so early. This never happens.
That.
This is we're turning over a new leaf here.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be late today because I got in this chair real late, and then I had to reinstall OBS, and guess what? That didn't even freaking work.
Nope. We're here. We're early. What do you want to talk about? I saw Dune. That was fun.
You saw Dune? Did you go out?
No, it's on HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
So
maybe I'll watch it then.
I watched it against the director's wishes. I saw it at home on my upstairs TV with the lights on, and we watched it over the course of 2 nights.
Wow.
Because it's a long movie. And you know what? I still thought it was pretty good.
I do want to see it, but I also want to put it on a Game Boy. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep in tradition of not actually watching it.
You know,
and just watching it on the Game Boy. What?
I went to my iTunes collection and it said previously purchased Tenet. And I'm like, what the fuck did I buy Tenet? I've never seen Tenet. And then I remembered that the Blu-ray I bought for your video came with a digital code and I redeemed it.
Ah, there you go.
I still have not seen Tenet, but I have all these versions that I could watch.
I never got a tweet of the week. Well,
I noticed.
I'm going through it right now.
All right.
To try to find one really quick, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. I haven't been liking many good tweets from the past week. Well,
so could throughout both lives of this podcast, is this the first time we've never had a tweet of the week?
No, we'll have one. It'll just be bad, like this one right here. This is from Norman Chan, from what the hell is it called? I'll just go to his profile. Tested.com.
I was going to say, yeah.
He said, Dune is incredible. No spoilers, but I'm 95% sure Duke Atreides is wearing a modified HTC Vive Deluxe audio head strap when he's flying. And now he's 100% sure, and that is definitely it's an HTC Vive headset.
Wow. That's funny.
Yeah,
I love that. I love when science fiction movies look all fancy and, you know, high tech, and then all of a sudden you're like, I own that in my house.
Just a little bit of kit bashing.
Yeah,
that's all that is.
It's like when we were rewatching The Phantom Menace a couple of years ago. I paused it and I pointed at Qui-Gon's Jedi communicator and I go, "That's a Gillette women's razor." They painted it black.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Good times.
Underscore in the chat just linked us to Pikmin. New Pikmin AR game coming from Pokemon Go developer Niantic.
I saw that. It was like right when we went live, but I wasn't sure what it was.
Is there a trailer? Somebody said there was a trailer.
There's like Miyamoto like talking about it.
Oh, that burger looks good. Am I gonna get a burger? I might get a burger.
Dude, fuck no, I want a burger.
I have food I can make, but burger. Anyway, what the hell do you do in this?
It is called Pikmin Bloom. It's a new augmented reality app coming Tuesday. The new app will be released, blah, blah, blah. The app uses real-world augmented reality technology to bring the colorful insects like mascots called Pikmin to your daily work. By doing this, it aims to spice up banal commutes like going to the park or the grocery store by allowing you to interact with your Pikmin. It doesn't really explain what you do.
Okay.
In Pikmin Bloom, you plant Pikmin, which grow automatically as you walk. Then you pluck them. The more you walk, the more Pikmin friends you can make. Walking with your Pikmin also leaves a trail of blooming flowers and gives your Pikmin a chance to collect them. This doesn't sound like fun.
So this is like a single player. It just looks like a step counter, honestly.
Yeah.
And like a fun little way to like count your steps.
Yeah.
14,000 steps. Look at that. Wow. And like, I mean, that's kind of what Pokemon Go is, but this seems like a single player version. Like Pokemon Go, you kind of like, it became like a communal thing.
Yeah.
This just seems like this is like you're blazing your own trail and like only you could see the trail. But I don't know. I mean, I'll download it. I'll see what happens. I don't like Pikmin, but maybe I will. Maybe this will get me into Pikmin.
Yeah.
Guys, let's talk to you real quick.
Yes. This is the part of the show where we answer some select questions from last week's Wulff Den podcast that's posted on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Wulff Den podcast.
So last week we had what did we talk about last week?
Talked about a lot of stuff.
No, you don't say.
Fun. I know.
Nintendo Switch Online being expensive.
Yes.
Cycle Delirious says, I hope you do make a video about your new Mac, Bob. I so desperately want the same one. I'm still using a MacBook Pro from 2011. I have a plan for a video. It'll be on the youtube.com/Bob Wulff channel. I don't know when it'll go up because I'm a very busy man, but I will be getting the MacBook sometime tomorrow. So maybe it'll probably take me like a week to figure it out.
So my wife is also rocking a MacBook Pro from 2011. And today I learned that certain websites she's not allowed to go to because it'll say there's a security problem.
On her
and these are
MacBook?
and these are like regular ass websites like Wikipedia, the second most popular website in the world.
Is it a work thing?
No, it's her personal MacBook.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's going to be my weekend.
We got Eddie Yoshi who says for the big Chungus Metal Gear video, 8.3 seconds is all it took for a character to surpass the popularity of Bugs Bunny, who himself was Bugs Bunny. Is legit and actually incredible philosophical point. You can spend your entire life making a name for yourself trying to better the world, and yet all you'll be forever known for is the chocolate rain guy or this guy predicted the Switch guy. Hey,
it's true.
Hey now. Alan Pittman says, how do you work with computers every day and can't put that together or figure out that the wireless controller option means the wireless controller option? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, I think I must have been messing with the controller. Yeah. Oh, I was trying to plug in the Retro Fighters controller.
Yes.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
you eat food every day, you never choke.
You eat food every day. How good of a cook are you?
Gabriel Watson says, I have 8 people who are willing to pay for Nintendo Switch Online, but we all agree is expensive AF. Hope the service is worthwhile for people down the road. If you get 8 people together, dude, then just freaking get the expansion pass.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like at that point, it's not going to hurt as much as if it's just one person paying for it.
Yeah. Ray Zeppelin says, it irks me because Nintendo's being dirty about the pricing for Expansion Pass and Animal Crossing DLC. Make the DLC pricey so people are urged to get the expansion pack. Make people who want who went with the subscription route lose access to the DLCs once their subscriptions expire, so they either have to pay full price for the DLCs or buy the subscription again. Repeat the process. Make the subscription pricey, but with the excuse of an expansion deal or expensive DLC included, even though they priced it themselves. In the past, to their DLC have been $10 to $20, which is all right because it's generally one big DLC or collection pass. But for $25 for one DLC, that's hard to bite. I'm going to have to start having Fred type these out in words that I'll be able to read better. Yeah, it's a big issue people have is that the Animal Crossing DLC. Well, you could buy it on its own, but also it's in the expansion pass. I wouldn't be mad if they started putting first-party Nintendo games stuff in the expansion pass. That way, I wouldn't have to buy it. It's kind of like Game Pass. I feel like the expansion pass is something they'll fill out with some good content eventually, but right now, it's not there.
Yeah. How much is the Animal Crossing expansion on its own? It's $25.
He said it's $25.
Yeah,
and I'm inclined to believe him because why would he lie?
So like for less, that's the thing though. For less money, you just get the expansion pack and you get it to keep. Whereas, for more, you also get N64 games and Genesis games. But if you don't renew your subscription, then you lose access to the expansion pass.
Right.
So, like you said, if they continue to add games to it, that's one thing. But if they don't, then they're really shooting themselves in the foot.
Right. I mean, it does make it expensive paying for an expansion pass every month. It adds up. It's going to add up to more than $25 for that DLC. But I mean, if you're paying for it already, that's why they got to add a lot more stuff to the service to make it worth it to pay for every single month. They got to give us content every single month. Especially for the expansion pass. For the regular Nintendo Switch Online, I mean, we were paying for it so we could play games online. That makes sense. Yeah. But for the expansion pass, we need content every single month or else it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Wildfire put in the chat the freaking Warner Brothers game. Did you see this leak?
I saw that, yeah.
So apparently Warner Brothers is trying to make a Nicktoons / Smash Brothers style fighting game that's apparently been in development for a while. And the roster is just ridiculous.
The leak claims the game titled Multiverse was in the works long before Nickelodeon All-Stars was announced and will feature an insane cast of Warner Brothers characters. The roster so far, according to the leaker, consists of Shaggy, Gandalf, Batman, Mad Max, Fred Flintstone, Johnny Bravo, and Tom and Jerry. Additionally, the leaker says that Harry Potter and his friend Ron are in the game, but due to complex rights, the team may have stopped development on them.
Batman versus Tom and Jerry.
Give me that.
I'm down for that. I honestly have more faith in Warner Brothers to make a game like that.
Oh yeah.
Than whatever the hell Nickelodeon did.
Because Warner Brothers has shown that they're an actual game developer who makes actual good games.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Yeah. One thing to note, it's not coming from NetherRealm. You know, the studio that they have that actually makes fighting games.
Right.
So that, that could be interesting.
Also, no Mortal Kombat characters.
True. Well, they might sneak one, unless this is really supposed to be a family-friendly game. They could sneak one in, but.
Chris BX says, Will, does that happen to your wife's MacBook when she's at work? If you figure it out, let me know. Mine does the same thing when I am teaching. Well, if that sounds like your freaking your network at work.
Yeah, this happens when she's at home. She doesn't bring her MacBook to work. My MacBook works fine.
Right.
Accessing whatever websites and stuff.
It doesn't seem like that sounds like malware, is what that sounds like.
Yeah.
My roommate had some crazy malware that did a similar thing. Like every link opened up Yahoo or something. It was very
But I don't
very
know,
weird.
because it's a Mac, and Macs don't typically get malware.
His was a
And
Mac
she's not the type of person like go to like sketchy sites.
Yeah, I understand.
So
Sometimes what happened to my roommate was actually like a really like I would have clicked on it. Like I finally figured out what happened, and I was like, okay, that actually looked like a legit thing. I probably would have clicked on that too. Anyway, Metasession says, we know Bob's just a YouTuber / streamer / world famous modder, but what's Will's day job? Oh no, he's a private investigator. Better look out.
I investigate privates.
Bob, your content should be exclusive to subscribers. I get jealous when others get to enjoy it. What type of subscribers? You mean subscribers here on Twitch, or you mean subscribers over on YouTube? I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could make it exclusive. Mine just says it's a security risk when I try to access just about anything, even just Google. It sounds like malware.
Yeah, no, she can access like most sites. It's mostly sites that don't have an HTTPS, which is a lot of websites, it turns out. A lot of fairly reputable websites.
Circa says, Will, is she using a modern web browser? If she's using Safari from 2012, then that probably is the issue.
She's using the most recent version of Chrome. But to be fair, she's running an older Mac OS. And this doesn't just happen in Chrome, because I also check Safari and it's the same issue.
Check if the clock settings are right. That messes things up sometimes. That's weird.
Yeah, I checked that. That's clock is right. Install Edge.
All right, can we talk about something else? Oh, we got notifications. Lewin Mag with 7 months and counting. Best use of Prime. Will listen to the full audio version tomorrow. We'll listen to the full audio version tomorrow on Spotify. Keep up the good work, Wolf Bros. Thanks, dudes.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Lenosis asked, does Will collect Legos? If so, what's his most expensive set? I generally don't, because Legos are expensive. I have a couple of sets. I think the most expensive one I have is like Poe Dameron's X-Wing, which I haven't built yet. I like to buy the Lego sets from the checkout lane at Target, because those are like $5, and they're like small. So I can just build them quick and put them wherever I want. Those are fun. Legos are too expensive. Don't get into Lego.
Yeah, I mean, I got that Nintendo the Mario one and with the CRT. Mm-hmm. I still never even built the CRT. I liked it, but it was way too much work. I'm not into that. Bob, is the hand-shaped controller dream dead? I have it in my wish list on Amazon. There's a controller that's like shaped like a hand, and it's for first-person shooters. I'll put it on I'll put it on screen. I saw somebody do a review on it, and it looked pretty interesting.
Is it like a Power Glove situation, or?
No, it's really just a keyboard that's shaped like a hand. But instead of keyboard clicks, it's like mouse clicks, I think.
Okay.
Let's see here. This is it. It's called the Azeron Classic Gaming Keyboard for PC. It is $185.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that's why I put it off, because also the video is not gonna do well if I make a video on that.
No, because this is just a PC peripheral.
I need to be really like struggling for a video idea.
Yeah.
Are there 38 N64 games worth playing? What a weird number.
I mean, if I really think about it, I'm sure the answer is yes. But if you're asking if they're going to come to Switch Online, I don't know because some of them are licensed games.
I mean, there are a lot of N64 games worth playing. I think N64 is kind of a weak library, but there are a lot of good N64 games.
Yeah.
You still trying to burn in your OLED screen? Yes. It's right here.
How's that coming?
You want to take a look? Let's see. I'm afraid to look because if it does have burn in, it means I have to make a video. So I'm stressed. Let's see.
Oh, you stressed?
Do I want the screen to be white or do I want the screen to be black? Like, do I want the theme to be black or white to show burn-in? I think I want it to be white.
No, what did you want it to be? Black?
Because it's not actually burn-in, it's burn out. Because the pixels are burning out. So if it's white, then I'll be able to see the burn out more.
True.
There's not an iota of burn-in at all on this thing.
Wow.
Not even a little bit.
How long have you had that on for?
Since a week before the friggin' system came out. So
yeah.
It came out October 8th, so it's been since October 2nd or 1st.
Okay.
2nd. No, 1st. 1st. Yeah, so it's been that long. It's been it's been on since then. So what is that?
Yeah.
3 weeks? 4 weeks. 1, 2, 3.5 weeks. Straight. No burning. It's gonna be potentially like 2 months, I think.
Yeah.
I suspect like 1,000 hours. How long is 1,000 hours?
Let's see.
It's 41 days.
Okay, so a little over a month.
Yeah, I suspect around 2 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway. Wait, was there burning or not? No, there's no burning. There's not even a little bit of burning. What is your biggest collection of single media types that could become obsolete with digital only? Xbox 360 games?
Maybe. I mean, I think just video games in general.
Yeah.
You have a big collection of video games.
True. The electricity bill would be fun for whatever reason. I'm gonna knock on wood. I don't pay for electricity in this apartment. I don't know why. But I got a call today that was like, you haven't paid your PSE&G bill, so we're gonna shut down your power in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't have PSE&G because I live in
I got
Brooklyn.
I got a call from a chimney sweep company. I don't have a chimney in my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is your ideal date night asking for a friend? Don't come near me. That's a great date night.
Yeah.
Don't even look at me. Just stay home. Cancel. That's my ideal date night.
Yeah. just saying, I can't go for some reason and going in the basement and playing your video games.
What is your guys' favorite dessert for the holidays? Mine is pumpkin pie. I like the pumpkin muffin at Dunkin' Donuts.
That's good. That's good. I like pumpkin spice things, but I'm not a basic bitch. And I don't always get pumpkin everything.
How dare you?
So I don't know. I will eat a chocolate chip cookie with vanilla ice cream on it every day of the year. Doesn't have. I don't need a season for it.
Anyway. It took me 9 months of roughly 8 to 10 hours of static screen time to burn in my Galaxy S9 screen. 8 to 10 hours of screen time a day. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of screen time. So what is I have to do math now. 9 months, 2 days. That is 273 days. So what is that times 8? We'll be conservative about it. 2,190. So about 2,000 hours. I mean, it's Samsung. This is a Samsung OLED screen, so.
There you go.
All right. I think we're good. I think that's a wrap on the podcast. Look at that. We finished on time.
All right. Beautiful.
Incredible.
So, thank you for all tuning in. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for chatting with us. As always, the Wulff Den podcast is every single Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on twitch.tv/Wulff Den. If you can't make the show for any reason at all, we always put it up as an archive version over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Wulff Den podcast. So you can go check us out on demand over there, wherever you want, whenever you want, whenever you want. Unique New York. Unique New York. If you prefer to listen to us rather than watch us, you could do that as well. We're also an audio podcast on anchor.fm/Wulff Den podcast and your preferred podcast service of choice. But no matter where you get this show from, folks, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review us because that helps us with placement on all of those respective platforms. And if you listen to us on Spotify, be sure to look for the poll that I will put up on there. I'll be doing it until we get more interaction. What the poll will be, I don't know. I got to figure that out, but be on the lookout for that.
It's a good idea. Guys, I posted a video like right before we went live. You should watch that if you missed that. If you came here just now, you should watch the video that's on youtube.com/Wulff Den. You should watch it. I will be streaming probably Thursday. Maybe there might be a little cheeky Wednesday night stream, but I don't know.
Ooh.
I'll definitely be streaming Thursday. We're trying to play Mario Party, so that'll be fun with a bunch of people. It'll be a good time. Right now, go say hello to Misclick. If you're having a lot of fun with my internet issues, you'll have a great time over there because she's been having a fun time with Spectrum.
Yeah.
So go over there and say hello. And I will see you later in the week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Military strategy game. Play newer less.